In our birth chart, the Black Moon Lilith represents the traits and qualities that we feel the most ashamed of, even though these are some of our greatest gifts and talents. However, those qualities and traits that we feel ashamed of are mainly indicated by the sign our Lilith is in. But not only do you have a sign that your Lilith is in, you also have a house. And this house that your Lilith is in will show you where this shame is going to show up for you in your life. So in this video, I'm going to cover everything that you need to know about having your Black Moon Lilith in your 10th house. Hello and welcome back to the Be the Hero channel. My name's Isabelle and I help you understand who you are using personality typing and astrology. Now, before I dive into what it means to have your 10th house Lilith, hit the link in the description below to get your very own My Horoscope Made Me Do It hoodie. I am filming this in the summer and it is a little warm to get one of these hoodies about now, but grab yours now while I'm still offering these hoodies. Link is in the description below. So before I dive into what it means to have your Black Moon Lilith in 10th house, let's recap Black Moon Lilith, because every time in each of these videos I say how much I was so confused when I first got into learning about Lilith, because I was seeing the phrase just Lilith. There was also Black Moon Lilith. Are these the same? Are these different? I don't know. To cut to the conclusion on whether you are watching a video about the right aspect in your chart, yes, keep watching. In our birth chart, there's an aspect called the Black Moon Lilith, and it is extremely popular nowadays in the astrology community. And because of that, it has been shortly referred to as just Lilith. There's also an aspect that is much less prominent in our charts called simply just Lilith. However, it is rarely spoken of. So the Black Moon Lilith is a very popular aspect in our chart, and because of its popularity, it has now just become referred to often as Lilith. You'll know you're also looking and researching about the right aspect in your chart. If you're looking at your chart, you'll see that the Black Moon Lilith is represented by a black crescent moon with what looks like a cross underneath it. This is the symbol for the Black Moon Lilith. What does it represent in our chart? In our chart, the Black Moon Lilith represents the traits and qualities we feel the most ashamed of. Some background to understand this better, because it's not simply just our shame. Lilith, to my understanding, was the first partner of Adam, and she was a very independent and powerful woman. She had a lot of strengths, a lot of strength and a lot of power. But because of this, she wasn't necessarily the most passive person to work with. And so what did they do? They threw her out of the world and replaced her with Eve, who was much more easy to work with and much more passive. So within us and in our birth chart, Lilith represents these strong talents, these gifts and powers within us. But some point along the way in our childhood or younger years, we were taught that it is not okay to embrace these things, or else they will lead us to being rejected. And so now we keep these things in the shadows, hide them, even though we deeply need to fulfill them. However, this is primarily indicated by the sign that your Lilith is in. Not only do you have a sign that your Lilith is in, but you also have a house Lilith is in. And to understand the difference between a sign versus a house, think of, in any aspect in astrology, the sign that that aspect is, or planet or point is in, shows you what kind of energy it holds, the theme, the personality, the traits. Whereas the house that excuse the bike going by, whereas the house that your planet or point or placement is in shows you where this will show up. So the zodiac sign shows the energy, whereas the house shows where this will show up for you the most. There are 12 houses in astrology, and these represent the 12 main areas of our life, from sense of self to our home to our relationships to our career. And that's the one we're going to talk about today, which is the 10th house of career. And one thing that helped me understand each of the houses is knowing that each house reflects the themes of a certain zodiac sign. And so the 10th house, which is what we're talking about today, is all related to Capricorn. And Capricorn, we know, is the go-getter, living that grind, always ambitious, always driven, always seeking their goals, and always pursuing something greater than themselves. Sometimes even to the point where they seem to be too success-oriented. But the 10th house has to do with these themes in the more tangible sense. Meaning, the 10th house is our area of life where we focus on career and recognition. It's what we do as a job. It's what we do as a career path. So what does it mean to have your Black Moon Lilith in your 10th house? People with a Black Moon Lilith 10th house in their younger years, whether that was childhood or teenage years, was someone who was very career oriented. They had a lot of ambitions, goals, and dreams to some degree. They wanted to be successful potentially. They thought about the one day becoming a millionaire or when they achieve all their goals. They always had their eye on the horizon. They were someone who was ambitious and driven, who wanted to excel in some way or another. But at some point along the way, they were taught by either a peer or by society as a whole or an authority figure or their parents that to want success and to be focused on your career is not okay. And so now these people repress their desire to have a fulfilling career path and instead tell themselves that it's not okay to want that. Potentially focusing maybe more on their home life because that's what they're supposed to focus on, or to focus on their neighbors because that's important. Either way, they were taught that in childhood, it's not okay to want a career. That's for selfish people, self-centered people, that's shallow. So now they suppress this. The thing is, Lilith is not just some of our greatest point of shame, it's also some of our greatest gifts. So people who have a 10th house Lilith have a gift for achieving career success, for having more wrapped up in a positive way in their career, meaning that they can find an extreme amount of joy and fulfillment from having a meaningful career. It's also really hard to explain fully what it means to have your Lilith in your 10th house without knowing what sign it is in, because that shows you what you are seeking in your career. Again, the sign that your Lilith is in shows you the theme. So for example, if you're someone who has a Lilith in 10th house in Cancer, you're someone who wants a career where they get to nurture people, where they get to share their emotions, express themselves vulnerably, and nurture other people. You want to nurture and be nurtured, but you're taught that that is not okay. Or if you're a Lilith in 10th house in Leo, you're someone who wants to stand out in your career, be the star of the show, potentially even go into modeling or acting, but you are taught that that's not okay. To want that is self-centered, shallow, wrong. The 10th house also has a lot to do with recognition. And so when we have a Lilith in 10th house, it really indicates that these people want to be recognized to some degree. After all, we need to fulfill the 12 areas of our lives. We need to embrace all 12 houses. If we have no aspects in a house, it means we have less of a priority on that. But all the same, we all need to embrace those 12 houses to some degree. So all of us need a fulfilling career path. And all of us need, to some degree, a level of recognition for what we do. We all want to be good at something we do in our career life, and we want to be seen for that. So people who have a 12th house Lilith, or 10th house Lilith, they become someone who feels especially ashamed for wanting that recognition. Some people have an easier time accepting the fact that they want recognition. They feel that that's okay. But people who have a 10th house Lilith were raised to believe that wanting recognition is especially bad. It's especially wrong and will lead to their rejection. So if you're watching this video and thinking, okay, this sounds so much like me as a 10th house Lilith, what do I do? First and foremost, the thing I recommend for all Lilith sign and house placements is reflection. Reflect on your childhood and reflect on that time in your childhood where you felt that you were shamed, guilted, or rejected for being ambitious, career-oriented, or seeking recognition. Did you succeed at something and tell your parents about it and they shot you down? Did you have a really big goal for your career or a career vision and your parents or someone told you that that's not okay to want that? That's stupid to be thinking about your career. Reflect on those childhood moments, find them. There's very likely many of those memories because it's not always just one memory that we have that triggers our Lilith shame. reflect on those memories, and as you are now, go back to that childhood version of yourself and offer them forgiveness and comfort them and say, it's okay to be this way. It's amazing, in fact, that you are goal-driven, career-oriented, and seek recognition. You're amazing at what you do, and I love this part of you. Secondly, a Lilith in 10th house needs to start focusing on their career again. They need to focus on building a career path that will fulfill them. And unfortunately, this can be a very hard struggle because oftentimes in this society, unfortunately, career and monetary gain comes hand in hand, even though astrologically, those are two separate houses. So for you, Lilith 10th house, you really do need to focus on finding a fulfilling career path. And this might be hard with your monetary situation, but even simply just focusing on what you would like to be in your career, scripting that out, and taking any small steps you can towards that career path is going to be important. This is, again, where the sign comes into play. So look at the sign that your Lilith is in as well. And if you don't know exactly what that means, watch my videos on the YouTube channel breaking down Lilith through the signs. But that will show you how you want to show up in your career. And it simply could be that you can show up in the current career you have and be more of that archetype of whatever sign your Lilith is in. You don't necessarily have to change career paths. You can if you feel called to. It might be the thing that you need to do, but just embrace the energy of whatever zodiac sign your Lilith is in. If you're a Lilith in Aries in 10th house, you need to be more initiative and aggressive, bold and brave in your career. Take action. If you are a Lilith in Libra in your 10th house, you need to focus on being more of a peacemaker in your career. Be the diplomat. Be collaborative and cooperative. Have a business partner potentially. So those are the primary things I recommend for the 10th house Lilith. But finally, the more intrinsic thing that we can do as well as a Lilith 10th house is give yourself the recognition you are looking for, which sounds kind of strange, I know, but oftentimes we talk about the 10th house and we want recognition for what we do. However, to require or demand that of society would be to outsource our values and put our power into the world instead of into ourselves. We wait for the world to give us something to be fulfilled. So it's very, very important that the 10th house Lilith especially is giving themselves recognition for what they do. It's possible that you need to journal every day the things that you did for your career, the things that you are proud of, and write down how proud you are of yourself. I did this today and I'm proud of myself. I did this, I checked these off, and I'm so proud. I'm amazing. Affirming your worthiness and affirming yourself is going to be really important as a 10th house Lilith, specifically in your realm of career. Affirm how good you're doing in your career. And this might require you, if you feel that you're not quite proud of yourself in your career, it might be a time to reflect on your values again. And what values are you trying to fulfill in your career? Who are you trying to be in your career? Most likely, you're trying to live in alignment with the values associated with the archetype zodiac sign that your 10th house is in. If this video helped you understand what it means to have your Black Moon Lilith in your 10th house, let me know in those comments below, and let me know what sign your 10th house Lilith is in those comments, so that I can give you an idea of what you're supposed to be in your career and how you can move towards that. So let me know in those comments below. While you're down there, grab the free birth chart workbook. If you have not yet grabbed it, it gives you simple journal prompts to understand the basics of your chart so that you can actually live in alignment with your birth chart rather than doing what I did when I got into astrology and just took in the information for years and did nothing with it. It takes less than 15 minutes to do the whole workbook. Grab it now. It's free. Link is in the description below. If you're the kind of person who is interested in self-development and or astrology, chances are you are, because you're watching this video about Lilith, which is a highly important planet point for self-development, then you need to get the Making Mindfulness Fun bundle, where I am right now offering all 30 of the workbooks and courses we have ever created for only $30. That's $1 per course, per workbook. And in this bundle, you get access to exclusive astrology workbooks that I've just created And you also get access to our master class chakra healing course that is 7 days long and walks you through the process of healing, which could be highly impactful for those who are looking to heal their Lilith. So link is in the description below. Learn more about the Making Mindfulness Fun bundle now and buy it through that link right now while I'm still offering it, because I am pretty insane for offering it and I don't know how long I'm going to keep offering this for. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Sincerely hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the video series on Lilith through the signs and learn more about Lilith through the other houses if you have friends or family members you want to understand better and learn about their Lilith aspects. Once again, my name's Isabelle, and from my heart to yours, namaste.